Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back to Noor Ishq, a journey of light from the soul, beyond words, beyond boundaries. Let's start our chapter 3, Nafs, the inner voice that hurts. Every human being carries an inner voice. It speaks in a moment of stillness, whispers in the times of vulnerability, and reflects our questions, fears, desires, and reactions. At times, it offers encouragement, at others, it criticizes or fills the mind with worry, anger, or longing. In Islamic spirituality, the inner voice is known as the Nafs, self ego. This term is often misunderstood and presented in a harsh light. Many are taught that the Nafs is an enemy, something to be suppressed, controlled, or even destroyed. Yet, this is not the complete picture. The nafs is not an adversary sent to harm you, it is an inherent part of your human nature. It is the aspect of the self that experiences the world, responds to pain, seeks comfort, and attempts to protect itself. In its unrefined state, the nafs is simply untrained. Much like a child who has not yet learned discernment, acting from impulse, fear, and desire. It seeks what feels pleasurable, avoids what is painful, clings to what offers security, and resists anything that threatens its sense of control. This is not abnormal. It is how the human self begins its journey. However, when left without guidance, the nafs can become a source of inner distress, not out of malice but out of a lack of understanding. It may whisper, "You are not enough. You must hold on tightly, or you will lose everything. You cannot trust anyone. You must control every outcome. You are alone." These thoughts do not arise from the soul, but from the wounded aspect of the self, those shaped by fear, rejection, and insecurity over time. The nafs carries your experiences, it holds your disappointments and remember moments of hurt, neglect, or misunderstanding. In its attempt to protect you, it forms patterns that often lead to further pain. For example, it may become deeply attached to those who provide a sense of safety. It may fear abandonment so intensely that it clings too tightly. It may conceal its true feelings to avoid rejection. It may seek constant approval, control, or validation. All of this reflects the nafs striving to survive. Yet, survival is not the same as peace. The nafs was not created to remain in a restless state indefinitely. It was created to learn, to soften, and ultimately to surrender. The Quran describes different states of the nafs, illustrating that it is not fixed, it evolves and matures. There is nafsul ammara, the self that inclines toward wrongdoing and base desires. Nafsul lawama, the self that becomes aware and self reflective. And the third one is nafsul mutmainna, the self that attains inner peace and tranquility. This transformation is not instantaneous, it is a gradual journey. The nafs begin in confusion, passes through struggle, and with the help of Allah moves towards peace. Spiritual growth, therefore, is not about achieving perfection or eliminating human emotions. It is not about destroying the nerves, but about educating, healing, and guiding it back to its source. The nerves may be likened to a restless child. When met with harshness, it becomes more resistant. When neglected, more desperate. But when guided with patience and understanding, it begins to trust. Similarly, when you approach the inner self with harsh judgments, the struggle intensifies. When you approach it with awareness and remembrance of Allah, something within begins to soften. Gradually, the nerve learns that it does not need to control everything. It begins to understand that security does not come from people, outcomes, or possessions, but from Allah alone. This learning unfolds not through force but through experience. Each disappointment reminds the nerves of the temporary nature of the world. Each broken attachment teaches that no created thing can fully carry the weight of the heart. Each moment of helplessness gently turns it toward the divine. Over time, almost imperceptibly, the nerves begin to transform. Its voices soften, its fears quieten, its reaction become more measured. When it once insisted, I must have this or I will not survive, it begins to trust Allah will provide what is best. Where it once reacted with anxiety, it learns to rest in quiet reliance. This is the transformation of the nerves, not through suppression but through awakening. As the nerves become quieter, another voice begins to emerge, the voice of the soul. The soul does not argue or panic, it does not demand attention, it simply knows, it remembers that Allah is near, that all things are transient, and love, mercy, and truth are stronger than fear. Yet, its voice is gentle, And when the nafs is loud, it is easily overshadowed. This is why the journey from nafs to Noor is not a battle against oneself. It is a process of softening the inner noise, allowing the light of the soul to become visible. You do not need to reject your nafs or wage war against it. You need only guide it patiently and gently back to the one who created it. Because the nafs was never meant to rule your heart, it was meant to be trained by it. And the heart, when it turns toward Allah, becomes a place where even the restless nafs can finally find peace. Thank you for listening. Until we meet again in the next chapter, stay in stillness, stay in remembrance, and let your heart rest with Allah.